Hello everybody, my name is the Walk4756 and welcome to Why the Medic Rule Sucks in Hell Let Loose. What is Hell Let Loose? Well, if you don't know what this is, basically Hell Let Loose is a multiplayer first-person shooter. It is historically based, it's based off of the Second World War, it's slow and tactical, and it requires a lot of teamwork and cooperation. Now if you don't know what a medic is, well, a medic in World War II is a non-combatant who doesn't fight. They stabilize wounded personnel and remove them from combat, usually to get them to an aid station where they can receive better medical care, then straight up on the field. They are usually identified to prevent being mistaken for a combatant. Now, this is in World War II. There are exceptions to this. What is the medic role in Hell Let Loose? Well, the medic role in Hell Let Loose is a combatant with offensive weaponry. They carry the ability to heal and revive allies. They are usually identified with a medical armband, same as their real-life counterpart, and they are usually prioritized by the enemy. Sometimes they're often regarded as a useless role, and they're really badly misrepresented. What are some problems with the medic role? Well, the first problem I have is respect. Now, when I'm a medic and I'm not really that identified, like I don't have the medic helmet, I am still shot and killed. When I wear the medic helmet, I am still shot and killed. Now, what I'm trying to say here is not that I don't want people to shoot medics, because that doesn't make any sense for a game where a medic plays an offensive role. My problem is with the medic identification. Like, why the hell would I wear why would I wear a medic armband and a medic helmet if enemies don't care? Well, consider this scenario. All right, so you've got a rifleman on the left and you've got the medic on the right. Now, the rifleman on the left can kill you, but he can also be revived by the medic if you manage to kill him. Now, the medic on the right can also kill you, but he can also revive the guy who is also trying to kill you. So, who the hell are you going to shoot first? Obviously, a lot of people are just going to shoot the medic first. That just makes sense. Now, here's an easy solution for those who still want to stay marked. Toggle visibility for enemies to see the marking. Now, if you don't know what this means, basically, it'll change the perspective of what your allies see versus what your enemies see. On the left, we see that the allies will see you as an obvious medic with whatever you want to wear as your helmet and your medic armband, but enemies cannot see this with this toggle on. They might think you're just a normal rifleman or some random guy. The second problem is the give up feature. Now, currently, if you are downed, you can choose to give up, and this usually takes I don't remember how long it takes, but it's very, very fast. This is very useful when there's no medic around, you're in a bad position, like you're not even in cover, and so forth. But it's not useful when there's a medic nearby, when you're being revived, or when you're behind cover, and obviously a medic is coming. This sounds pretty simple and pretty obvious, but a lot of people give up way too often, especially when they don't need to. Now, in some cases, I'll be running towards a down guy. I'll be communicating with them. They'll know that I'm coming to get them, and they'll respond back, and they won't give up. But a lot of the time, way too often, I see people where I'm communicating with them, I'm trying to tell them not to give up, and they don't listen. They just give up anyways. Now, here's my solution to this. This one's called medic marking. Now, in the Battlefield series, especially Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, I think those are the only two games you can do this in, you can mark down players when you're playing medic. That basically lets them know that you're going to come get them. They get a little thing on their screen that tells them that you're coming to get them. Now, obviously, to keep things interesting, you're going to have to change this up if you were to implement this and use this in Hell Let Loose. Now, here are my 3 ideas for this feature. Obviously, marking should prevent the player from giving up, because that's what I was just talking about, for a maximum of 10 seconds, so that way the medic can just mark and then leave. You obviously don't want to be stuck in that down state, especially if that medic is not going to come get you. The second feature would be to let the downed player know that the medic is coming. So like if a medic doesn't have a microphone but just likes playing medic, they can mark down bodies to let them know that they're coming, but obviously can't audibly tell them. And if the medic were to die and they've marked a downed guy, they would automatically cancel the marking, obviously, because that guy's dead. Or if the medic decides that they no longer want to go and try and get that downed person, and they can just cancel the mark. Now, down to positioning. When you die, you're either in cover or you're not in cover at all. What's the solution for this? Like, how am I going to get those down guys to cover? Well, dragging. Dragging is a feature in Squad, in the game Squad, where you can slowly drag a downed ally to cover. Now, this makes sense in Squad because reviving is slow. It takes about 7 seconds for a medic currently in Squad to revive, and it takes even longer if you're not a medic. So being able to drag your allies to cover is really nice. But like I said, if this same exact feature were to be implemented in Hell Let Loose, there's a huge problem. It's just way too slow. If we were going to put something like this in Hell Let Loose, it would have to be faster. But wouldn't fast dragging be unrealistic? I hear you say. Generally, I don't think so. If you look at this picture I've provided, we can obviously see that there's a guy dragging another guy. Now, this is a picture from the movie Hacksaw Ridge. The main character, Desmond Doss, is dragging this guy. He's looking where he's going. He's dragging him by one hand, and I don't imagine this being that slow. Now, obviously, I've drawn this because I'd like to draw, and it looks horrible. But you get the basic idea. The guy is looking where he needs to drag, and the guy's being dragged. The medic can stay focused on where they are going while simultaneously dragging the body. This way, they can get that man to cover for a safer revive. This is the final and the smallest issue of them all. I think the wave respawn system. Now, if you were to ask somebody, which is quicker, waiting for a revive or respawning, I guarantee you a lot of people will just say respawning is quicker, especially if there's no medic around. This is very dependent on the situation. Now, what's the solution for this? I honestly don't really know. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. That's why I marked this as the least important issue, because it's not really that big of an issue. I feel like if this were to be changed, it would change the meta of the game. But if you have any ideas, let me know. So, I've talked about what Hell Let Loose is. I've talked about medics and their job in real life during the Second World War. And I've talked about the medic role in Hell Let Loose. I have talked about certain problems, like the respect for medics and the identification, and how I think that should be altered just a little bit. The giving up feature, how I think this can be improved because currently it is pretty crappy. I've requested the ability to drag for players who die out in the open. It'll just be easier to take them to cover before initiating a revive. And I've talked about that tiny issue, which I don't really see being too much of an issue, but I've seen it been mentioned before. And that's it. Thanks for watching.